Hey, Dad, what time is it?
I don't know. If only we could ask this boombox what time it is.
We can.
It's 9:58 a.m.
Welcome back to another awesome video. Today is the Sharp QT F60.
Yes, that's right. This boombox has a built-in talking clock. Although its size may not be impressive, whenever you press the green button, it will stop whatever it's doing or even come on if it's powered off and announce the time.
It's 9:57 a.m.
10:15 a.m.
It's 10:15 a.m.
Today we have smart speakers, but people have been thinking about interacting with computers using their voice for a long time, and the 1980s was no exception. Voice prompts and devices and electronics were very cutting-edge technology in the 1980s.
I am the voice of Night Industry 2000's microprocessor.
And what's more, I don't intend to drive around in a car that talks back to me.
In 82, the cars talk. Did you know that anybody get a new car recently? The cars speak to you. If you leave your lights on, the car will say, ding, lights are on.
Aside from the talking clock, have you noticed anything about this boombox that looks unusual?
Gray and looks like from the future, and also all the buttons are on the top, and there's radio, and there's the tape thing in the middle.
It's a little different than other typical 1980s boomboxes because it was part of a design initiative by a Sharp company called Humanware. And they were trying to shake things up with Humanware and make it more of a user-centric design. Now, was it all hype? I don't know. This boombox resulted from it, and it's definitely a different style of product. One very obvious style choice was the decision to round off all the corners. There's almost no hard edges on this boombox. The cassette door is the only square shape, but even that sort of blends into the surrounding case.
That's kind of cool. Like, oh, I'm 6 years old. I bought a tape deck, but how am I supposed to put it in? I can't. Oh, it's right there.
Well, it's very lightweight.
Lightweight, not like the other one, like the
Yeah.
Art Performer.
Look how slim it is compared to this Panasonic boombox. Of course, it does have smaller speakers. It can't quite make as much sound. One of the reasons it's very lightweight is it uses smaller AA batteries instead of larger C or D batteries. Another reason is it takes the transformer. It doesn't have a standard power cord. It has a transformer.
It's pretty lightweight. Sounds pretty good.
Yeah,
I wonder if you can use it for Bigfoot hunting. Put a sound of Bigfoot howling and then just turn it up and then play it.
I don't know about that. And on the back, you can see there's the battery case. You just use the small batteries.
Yeah.
Another thing that's different from the typical boombox is it's got that rubber strap instead of the hard handle. Now look at this Sony boombox from the 2000s. Another thing about the color, look, that's already starting to yellow. This gray color here is not yellowing at all, and it really, the paint job in this thing really has held up well since '87, and that other boombox did not.
How old were you in '87?
Younger. So other than the talking clock, there are not a lot of wonderful features. It's a very simple boombox, but how does the Humanware control layout work? I think it works pretty good because when you're working with a boombox, you're generally taller than a boombox. It's setting down, so all these controls are designed to be operated from the top, whereas the other boomboxes, you kind of look at the front panel like this one. As a signature feature, the clock button stands out bright green, but all the other controls sort of blend into the background. The text is very small, but it's still got good spacing on the buttons and different types of controls. You sometimes, I think, have confused fast forward and rewind a little bit, but other than that, it's pretty easy to use.
Here and fast forwards right there.
But it's easy to use, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. If you've made it this far in the video, we're going to ask some questions about this thing. Starting with, is there a microphone? There's no obvious microphone indicated on here, and there's no microphone jacks on the side, so no label of microphone. So we're gonna just see if there's a microphone. Testing 1 2 3. Is there a microphone on this recorder? Testing. Testing 1 2 3. Is there a microphone on this recorder? Testing. So yes, there is a microphone. Another question that would come to mind is, does the clock get recorded onto the tape? So I'm recording now. Press the clock. Oh, the clock doesn't come on. Another question you might be asking is, how do you set the clock? And it's done, I guess, back here in the battery compartment. You just basically have hour and minute. So you can press this.
Oh, 6, 8, 22,
You press it as fast as you can.
27, 20, 30, 31, 35, 5 p.m.
So once you set the clock, it's...
It's 5:35 p.m.
And finally, let's take a look on the inside. There's no reason to look inside of it to repair it because it's working, but just a couple screws to get inside. And you see some 8-ohm speakers kind of plugged in there. Very cheap cassette mechanism, magnetic erase head. The clock circuit definitely stands out. It's just about what you'd expect. They spent their money on the style and stuff. They did not spend the money on the mechanism. But hey, it's still working since '87, so I guess there's some quality in here. Probably better than what you'd get these days. So, in conclusion, what do I think about this boombox?
It's 9:59 a.m.
While the style and design definitely bucks tradition, as a kid in the 1980s, this is probably not the boombox I would go for because doesn't have really huge speakers or anything like that. I would probably look for something that has more buttons and features.
Like the one we had at Destin a couple days ago.
Yeah. It's not the best sound quality, but it's not the worst. The TV boombox we looked at last year, the GPX boombox, it wasn't very good. This is better, surprisingly. Like that one, I guess I had higher expectations, which were not met. This one I started with very low expectations. They were okay. So it's not a very wonderful sounding boombox, but it sounds okay, wouldn't you say?
Yes, and you also recorded.
Yeah, we made some recordings. If you're looking for a sharp boombox and money's no object, I'd say go for the Searcher. But that about does it for this video. See you next time for another.
See you next time for another awesome video. Bye.
It's 10:39 a.m.
Big bottle right here.